Om Lam Lam Lam. Om Lam Lam Lam. So we take a deep breath and then we sing. Om Lam Lam Lam. Om Lam Lam Lam. Om Lam Lam Lam. This energy center gives us the quality of innocence and purity. So we can ask for that quality to be enlightened within us as we sing it a few more times. Om Lam Lam Lam. Om Lam Lam Lam. Om Lam Lam Lam. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Sumukhaschaikadantascha Kapilo Gajakarnakaha Lambodarascha Vikato Vignanasho Ganadhipa Dhumraketu Ganadhyaksho Bhalachandro Gajanana Gajanana. So now we'll bring our hands on our lap and we'll put our right hand on our second energy center below our stomach. This is the center of pure attention. An attention which is light, doesn't get entangled or attached to thoughts. So here we'll ask for a pure attention. And the bija mantra here is Om Vam Vam Vam. W-A-M, Vam. So we'll say that a few times. Om Vam Vam Vam. 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 Om Vam Vam. Pranamami Sharda Devi. Pranamami Sharda Devi. Veena pustakadharini. Veena pustakadharini. Pranamami Sharda Devi. Pranamami Sharda. Salam.
So we can all bow down to Sri Mataji and raise our kundalinis. So we can, first of all, we can let one of our brothers from Ghana take us through a meditation. Welcome, welcome everyone. I forgot to say welcome.
Okay, let's put our attention in our heart, in our left heart. Then you do a breathing exercise, as you know. We breathe it in, long breath in, then we hold it inside for some minutes or seconds. Then we breathe it outside. Then we hold it there like that up to maybe 3 minutes. It's very important. Thank you. So let us breathe in. Let us put our hand, our right hand in our left heart. Mantra for our heart chakra. Let's say Shiva Parvati mantra. Om Swami Vasakshat Shri Shiva Parvati Sakshat Shri Adishati Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. From Divine Mother, by your grace, I am the Spirit. please forgive me any mistake against my spirit. Let us place our right hand in our left Swadhisthana chakra. Let us put our attention there. Om Divine Mother, I am the pure knowledge of the divine which hath purified my Swadhisthana chakra. Om Divine Mother, come to my Swadhisthana chakra. Let us place our right hand on our laptop. And keep our attention in our Sahasrara chakra. For meditation. keep your attention in your Sahasrara chakra and in your heart as well. Let us keep our attention and listen to Shri Mataji talk as well.
So I apologize that I don't know how to do a big screen, because whenever I do a big screen, the screen stops sharing. So anyway, just letting you know that. Today, just right now, many people from many different countries are all gathering on Zoom to meet and talk about the 21-day meditation course for people from all around our time zone. You may have seen the email that I've written. And so let's just, now that we're so deep here in Sahasrara, let's just put our attention on that meeting. They're having to talk about things and arrange things and plan things, and we can just be in Sahasrara and in our hearts. Just feel the depth of this new project, which will bring many hundreds, maybe even thousands of seekers to get the self-realization from the great continent of Africa, from Europe, from America. There's many languages as well: German, French, Spanish, Italian. So it's a very big project, and there's lots of people gathered now, getting ready for it, really taking it seriously, dedicating. So let's just, in our hearts, let all these vibrations gush into that meeting. Mother, we thank you for this amazing year that's opening up so many blessings for us. And that togetherness, working together on the farm, on the online projects, on so many things, working together, that is our joy, and we're so grateful for this blessing. So I'm going to play a talk now from Sri Saraswati Puja. And then we're going to say some names of Sri Afrikeshwari, focusing a little bit on putting our attention on Africa and praying for the seekers to come to SYUK through this 21-day course. Let's just watch Sri Mataji's talk now.
With love, all kinds of creative action takes place. You see how Raulbai has love for me. And in this place, you all also got new ideas of creating a beautiful thing. And as love will increase, your creativity will develop. So the basis of all creativity of Saraswati is love. If there is no love, there is no creativity. It's even in the deeper sense. You see, people who have created all the scientific things are also out of love for the masses, not for themselves. Nobody has produced anything for themselves. If they make something for themselves, it has to become for universal use, otherwise it has no meaning. Even if you say atom bomb and all these things are created from science, they are also very protective. If they had not created those, people would not have taken out their minds from war. Now nobody can think of having a big war. Of course they are having cold wars, but that also will gradually stop when they will be fed up of it. So all the activity on the right hand side of Saraswati basically has to end up in love, starts with love and ends up in love. Whichever does not end up in love coils up and finishes up. It just disappears. So you can see that even matter which is not used for love just finishes. The basis has to be love. Otherwise all such matter that we create, which has angularity, which is not fitting into the mass media, which is not appealing to the masses. Of course, it takes time. We have seen that it takes time. But it has that tendency always to disappear in the thin air as soon as you find it does not appeal to the masses. Now this love that we talk of, this great love of God we talk of, we know that it for definite through vibrations. People do not have vibrations, but still we can feel the vibrations in a very unconscious way. All the great paintings of the world have vibrations. All the great creative works of the world have vibrations. Only those who have vibrations have been sustained by time. Otherwise all other things are destroyed. There must have been monuments and horrible statues and horrible things that have been created long time back, but were all destroyed by nature and they could not stand the impact of the Kala, that is the destructive power of time. So all that is sustaining, all that is nurturing, all that is ennobling comes from this sense of love which is within us, very much developed, but within others also who are not yet realized. Ultimately the whole world has to realize that one has to go to that ultimate love of God, otherwise it has no meaning. Now you have seen in art, people have taken to other methods of appealing to people by using cheap things and very vulgar things, just to make people think that this is art. But this will all disappear. It cannot sustain the impact of the time, as I told you. It cannot, because the time will kill it. All these things have to disappear. And already you can see the result, how things are changing everywhere, even in the West. So there is no need to be so much disappointed with the West and to say that the Western world is a wasteland. It is going to be all right, and it has to be done. Especially it has done a lot of puja of Saraswati, I should say, in the West. Much more that they have done in India, because they have gone to learning, they have tried to find out so many things. But only thing they forgot that it is a goddess, goddess of learning. Everything comes from the goddess. That's what they forgotten. And that's why all the problems have been created. If there is no spirit in your learning, if there is no source of the goddess in your learning, then it is absolutely useless. If they had realized that there is the spirit that is working it out, they would not have gone that far. And that's what I was warning the Indians all through, that you are now taking to industrial revolution in a way. And to avoid all the complications of industrial revolution, you must try to know the spirit. If you do not know the spirit, you will have the same problems as these people have, because they are also human beings, you are also human beings. You will go the same way, at random you will run, and there will be problems, the same problems as the Western people have suffered. Now, Saraswati's blessings are so many that one cannot describe in such a short time. And the Surya has given us so many powers that it is impossible to tell them even in one lecture, even in 10 lectures. But how we go against Surya and how we go against the Saraswati while doing the worship of Saraswati is to be seen very clearly within ourselves. For example, the Western people are very fond of Surya because they have no Surya with them. But they go too far with it, as you know, and create complications within themselves of Surya. But the main thing that one has to achieve through Surya is the light within. Is the light within. And if Surya chakra at the Agya level is occupied by Lord Jesus Christ, then it is even more essential that the purity of life, what we call niti, is the morality of life. The morality itself has become very much sort of an argument in the West. People don't have any sense of absolute morality. On vibrations, of course, you know. But they have gone all against it. Those who are the worshippers of Jesus, those who are the worshippers of the Surya, of the Saraswati, have all gone against the powers of Surya, just disobeying it. Because you cannot be a Surya if you do not have a proper sense of morality and holiness. The Surya itself brings light. You see everything clearly. So many qualities Surya has got. It dries up everything that is wet, dirty, filthy. It dries up all these places which create parasites. But so many parasites are created in the West. Not only parasites, but there are horrible cuts and horrible things which have come into those countries which is supposed to be full of light. And in that darkness they exist. Darkness about the spirit, darkness about their own knowledge, and darkness about love. These three things have taken over in the places where you are supposed to love light. Light doesn't mean what you see with your gross eyes. Light means from within, the light of love. That one should understand. Light of love. And it's so soothing, it's so sweet, it's so beautiful, it's so enamoring, it's so abounding that unless and until you can feel that light within you, that light which is of pure love, of purity, pure relationships, pure understanding, if you can develop that kind of a light within yourself, then whole thing will be cleansed. Wash me and I shall be whiter than snow. This is what happens to you when you are completely cleansed. The purest form of nature is within us. The purest form of nature is within us. Our chakras are made out of that purest form of nature. We are the only people who are spoiling it by our mental thinking. Again, the same Saraswati's work. We are going against Saraswati itself. Saraswati cleanses all that is impure in nature, while with our brain activity we are spoiling. All our brain activity goes against pure intelligence. And that's what one has to understand, that this pure intelligence is not to be soiled by our thinking. Our thinking can make us so bumptious, so ego-oriented, so impure, that we can really eat the poison and say, what's wrong? Just the opposite of Saraswati. If Saraswati is within us, she gives us subuddhi, wisdom. And that's why to worship Saraswati, to worship Surya, we must have that clear vision as to what we have to be, what we are doing, what filth we are living in, what our mind is getting into. After all, we are here for emancipation and not for just pampering our ego and living with our filth that is with us. So this light should come within us, and we should try to rise above our own mental filth which is being created around us. Apart from that, you have to go higher and understand that there is within us a thing called ego. And this ego is false, absolute false. You do not do anything. Actually, when you turn your eyes here and there, when your attention is here and there, it's nothing but your ego is trying to overpower it. But actually, ego is an absolute falsehood, because there's only one ego, and that is of God Almighty, Mahat Ahankara. There is no really any ego that exists. It's a myth. It's a very big myth. Because if you start thinking, you are doing everything, you are doing this, you are doing that, which you are not doing, then this nonsensical ego comes in and you start working it out. It can project in every direction. When it projects forward, it overpowers others, it tries to dominate others, tries to kill others, becomes cruel. When it moves right side, it becomes supraconscious. It starts seeing things which are absurd, which are foolish, which are stupid. When it moves left side, then it starts seeing things, yourself as a big man, as a big Christ, or as a big Devi, or something. There are Adi Gurus and I'm very great personality. That's left side. When it moves backwards, that's the dangerous one. When people become gurus, which are ruining other people. When the ego moves backwards, then they become gurus. They themselves have lots of defects in themselves, and they try to pull people into those horrible stuff which is described as absolute narka. That's how is the movement of ego on all the sides. Now, when people try to use their right vishuddhi, that is to talk about themselves, is the worst of all. Whatever type of ego you may have, if you start boasting about it and talking about it, that it encircles, thickens the walls of ego so much that it is impossible to penetrate into that, because that such a person is completely satisfied with himself and he believes that he is true. And once he starts believing into a nonsense like that, is an impossibility. It's an impossibility to penetrate. So when you boast about these things or you talk big, be careful. You see, you know what I am, but how many times do I say I am that? Even if I say once, it makes tremendous vibrations for you. But how many times do I say so? At the most, if you say something, I say, yes, but I don't say that. If I say it loudly, I don't know what may happen. The whole thing might be blasted with me. So one has to understand that Mahat Ahankara is the one that acts, that works, that really. Sometimes I shout at you, immediately all the bhoots run away. Just once I shout. Yesterday you saw all the bhoots that were coughing. They all ran. Yesterday just I stopped. So you should understand that now as you are realized souls, you can also do the soul. Use your right vishuddhi to shout at yourself. Now will you please stop boasting? Will you stop talking all this nonsense? Will you stop showing off? Then it will. Now this thickening takes place by people who really are active, who want to do something about it. Not that they are not active, they want to do it. But they know only one way is to act through talking. They don't understand that there are inner ways by which you control it much more. Because they don't want to take to that, they take to this talking. And once they take to talking and they talk about it, the whole power flows out. But if they do not talk about it and keep it within themselves, it's all right, you can tell me about your experiences or anything, but if you start telling others and talking about it too much, then the powers that you have got will be all disappearing gradually from you. And you will just come down to absolutely lowest level. So one should not too much talk that I have this power, or I see this, or I do this, which is a very wrong thing. I warn you, don't try to show off. You can talk about my powers, it's all right. But don't try to talk about your powers. When it comes, of course, to talk to somebody who is a negative person, or to tell somebody, then you should say that we, not I, we have, some of us have felt this power within us. We have seen people, it may be you only, but you need not say I have. What you have to say, we. Then you become the Mahatahankara. When you say we, yes, some of us, we do. Like in Gregor's book also, I saw to it that he should not have many I's, but he should have we. We think, we do, we. Means the whole collective being, the whole collective organism, living organism of Sajogis. So you should say, yes, some of us have got. That means you put yourself down, but put all others above you. Say, yes, some of us have, I know some people have this. That's the way one should do it. Because if you have to overpower your ego, you must allow it to spread into everybody else. That's how you will make it perfectly alright. Make it spread. We all Sajogis. We all. But that pride is not there. I've seen that pride is not there. Still it is very individualistic. If you start thinking we Sajogis, then what happens? That you become one person, one organization. But the person will look down upon other people. Will see that this person is low, that person is high, that person is dead. But he will not think, we the Sajogis, how beautiful we are. We, the body of Sajoga, how beautiful we are. So always think in the words of we. So your ego will become much less, much less, much less. And the same ego which looked so funny and absurd will form tomorrow the Ekadashi. Today's individual ego will merge into Ekadashi. But we all must remember to say we all the time. This is what is today's day is great day for us to change, because the sun has changed its mood now. Sun is coming this side. So let us welcome the sun coming the north now, this way. And for Australians to say that though the sun has gone, let us establish the sun, the domain of sun within ourselves. Because sun never disappears from our inside. So that is how we have to take a mood by which we should think of one personality. All of us together. All of us together. And anybody tries to be something separate or different, he'll drop it. I'll drop it. Whatever it may, it will drop it. So you just don't worry. Anybody who tries to be singled out or anything, everybody must do whatever they like, to nurture the whole, to help the whole, to emancipate the whole, but not to in any way put anyone down or less. Because this is not the way the Sahaja is. Sahaja only works in collectivity. And the one who has developed this permeating spirit is a real Sahaja. Who has not, is not. Whatever you may think of yourself, I have nothing to say. But this permeating personality, which moves from places to places, whether you talk or not, like your mother is. Whether I meet you or not makes no difference, but I am permeating through all of you. By little things also, I am there with you. So like that, try to permeate into each other and see the beauty, and you will enjoy yourself the best, because that is the biggest thing That's the biggest thing that is to be achieved. Because this ego, makes you like a nutshell, and you just cannot have a rapport with that beauty of permeation. And just see how the notes move into each other. It will be a great idea today. It's a great thing today we have to having puja dhulya. Like the dhulya means the dust. And one day I had written in childhood a poem, I remember. A very interesting poem it was. I don't know where it's lost, but we said that I want to be like a dust particle, which moves with the wind. It goes everywhere, can go sit on the head of a king, or can go and fall at the feet of someone. It can go and sit on a little flower, and it can go and sit everywhere. But I want to be a particle of dust that is fragrant, that is nourishing, that is enlightening. Like that. I had written a very beautiful poem. I must have been about 7 years of age, I remember, to be a dust particle. I remember that very clearly, long time back, that I should be a dust particle so that I'll permeate into people, which is a very big thing to become a dust particle of that kind. To that whatever you touch, you see, that becomes a level. Whatever you just feel, that has fragrance. It's such a great thing to be like that. And that was my desire, and it has been achieved. At that young age, I had this idea of becoming a dust particle, and today, just while talking to you, I remembered that I wanted to be that, and that is what this place is. And Raoul is like that. She's a very simple woman, and she lives like a very simple person, but she has a sense of permeation. And now there are so many Sahaj Yogis yesterday who came. I'm sure they'll take it up, Sahaj Yoga, very well. There are lots of Sahaj Yogis from Dhulya now, and I'm sure there are going to be more people. I hope you have met all of them. Make friends with all of them. Try to know them, who they are. They may not know English, so get somebody to translate. Talk to them and be nice to them. Be friendly with them. I want you to meet them for permeation. You should know who are the people here, who are in Nasik, because somehow we never meet the Sahaj Yogis, you see, who are in that particular place. And when we go back, we have only 1 or 2 addresses. It's not a good idea. Try to see how many people there are. Ask about their questions about them and all that. This permeation is only possible when your ego starts permeating all around. This is the way to overcome the problems of the right side, and that is how to worship Saraswati. Because Saraswati has a veena in her hand, and that veena is the primordial instrument which she plays, like music. And the music penetrates into the heart. You don't know how it goes into you and how it works out. And that's how a person who is a Sahaj Yogi should permeate like music into everything. She has so many qualities, as I told you, which cannot be described in one lecture. But one of the greatest qualities of hers is that she ends up into subtler things. Like the Mother Earth will end up into fragrance. Music will enter into melodies. Like that, whatever she creates ends up into something later. Matter, whatever she produces, ends up into aesthetics. If matter does not have aesthetics, then it is gross. Like that, everything. Now, you will say, what is water? Water becomes the river Ganges. These are the subtler. So, the matter gets into subtler things because it has to permeate. It has to permeate. So, everything, whatever it is, and the best of all is the air. That air becomes the vibrations. So, you can see how whatever has come out from this matter, from these 5 elements, becomes that subtle thing. Of course, the left side and right side both work it out, because the love has to work on this, and when love acts on matter, it becomes. And that is how one has to look at your own lives to make it a beautiful combination of love and matter. May God bless you.
So we're going to say the names of Sri Afrikeshwari. Let's say first a mantra to Sri Ganesha. And we have our Saraswara wide open as we say this mantra, always with our attention in Saraswara from the heart. Sri Ganesha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namo. Let's say the full mantra, Sri Afrikeshwari. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Afrikeshwari Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namo. You are the goddess and supreme ruler of Africa. You are the goddess who created Africa as the cradle of humanity. Shri Manu Lola Manchaka. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Manu Lola Manchaka Namo Namah. You are the light that destroys the darkness in Africa. Shri Dipashika. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Dipashika Namo Namah. The glory of African sun, Shri Tejo Nidhi. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Tejo Nidhi Namo Namah. The rays of sunlight that sustain life throughout creation, Shri Ravi. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ravi Namo Namah. The goddess who enlightens the Swadhisthana chakra, Shri Swadhisthana Prakashini. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Swadhisthana Prakashini Namo Namah. The goddess who bestows peace, Shri Prasanananda. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Prasanananda Namo Namah. You are worshipped as the goddess of knowledge, Shri Nirmala Vidya. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Nirmala Vidya Namo Namah. pure knowledge, Shri Shuddha Vidya. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Shuddha Vidya Namo Namah. The goddess who manifests where there is truth, Shri Satya Prakat, Shri Satya Prakata. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Satya Prakata Namo Namah. Pure knowledge, Shri Shuddha Icha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Shuddha Icha Namo Namah. Goddess who established the innocence of Africa, Abodhita Prashtapini. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Abodhita Prashtapini Namo Namah. The goddess who created the Swayambhu to Shri Ganesha in the form of a table mountain, Shri Horik Kwago. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Horik Kwago Namo Namah. The goddess who rose from the waters off the western coast of South Africa, Shri Mahalakshmi Jalaja. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahalakshmi Jalaja Namo Namah. Daisy, the pure one, who when you saw the purity and beauty of Namakwaland, Daisy, you took it as your name. Daisy. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Daisy Namo Namah. The oasis in the great Sahara Desert, Shri Sahara's Maru Bhumi. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Sahara Maru Bhumi Namo Namah. The goddess whose presence abounds in villages of Africa, Shri Grama Surachana. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Grama Surachana Namo Namah. The goddess who provides hope for the hopeless, Shri Asha Kirana. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Asha Kirana Namo Namah. The goddess who frees children of Africa from slavery of body, mind, and spirit, Shri Mukta. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mukta Namo Namah. The goddess who created the ancient San and Khoi peoples and all the tribes, Shri Susangaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Susangaha Namo Namah. The goddess who rules the herds of African wildlife, Shri Upati. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Upati Namo Namah. The goddess who loves bright colors, Shri Ranga Priya. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ranga Priya Namo Namah. the goddess who created the palette of color across the continent of Africa, Shri Varna Bhumi. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Varna Bhumi Namo Namah. The goddess whose beauty is reflected in the diverse nature of Africa, Shri Ramya Nirsarga. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ramya Nirsaga Namo Namah. The goddess who created unity in diversity, Shri Vaichitriyayika. Shri Vaichitriyayika. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Vaichitriyayika Namo Namah. The goddess who denounces false practices and traditions without Shri, Avidya Vadha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Avidya Vadha Namo Namah. The goddess who condemns racism and segregation, Vaunsha Bedha Virodha, without Shri. Om Tvameva Sakshat Vaunsha Bedha Virodha Namo Namah. The goddess who bestows Ubuntu within us, the spirit of collectivity, sharing, and generosity, Shri Ubuntu. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ubuntu Namo Namah. The destroyer of ancestors' worship, without Shri, Anta Shraddha Vinashini. Om Tvameva Sakshat Anta Shraddha Vinashini Namo Namah. The destroyer of witchcraft, black magic, and sorcery, Bhuta Vidya Mardini. Om Tvameva Sakshat Bhuta Vidya Mardini Namo Namah. Destroyer of fears by Tokolos, Sangomas, and witch doctors, Paya Pita Duratma. Om Tvameva Sakshat Paya Bhita Duratma Namo Namah. The bestower of self-knowledge, Shri Atma Bodha Pradayini. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Atma Bodha Pradayini Namo Namah. Goddess who makes it easy for her devotees to spread Sahaja Yoga, Shri Sahaja Karya Sahaya. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Sahaja Karya Sahaya Namo Namah. Majesty, wisdom of Shri Gane African elephant, Shri Gaja. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Gaja Namo Namah. Victorious, Shri Shiranvali. Victorious goddess who rides upon the lion of Africa, Shri Shiranvali. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Shiranvali Namo Namah. The goddess who grants abundance in gold, diamond, tanzanite, and precious stone for us to adorn you. Shri Vasundhara Bhushana. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Vasundhara Bhushana Namo Namah. The goddess whose heartbeat resounds in the drum of Africa. Shri Anahata Nada Charma Vadya. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Anahata Nada Charma Vadya Namo Namah. The giver of song to the children of Africa. Shri Sangitopahara. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Sangitopahara Namo Namah. The goddess who opens the heart through music and dance. Shri Hrudaya Vikashini Sangita. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Hrudaya Vikashini Sangita Namo Namah. Goddess who inspires poets, musicians, artists, and artisans. Shri Saraswati. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Saraswati Namo Namah. Spontaneous creativity. Shri Sahaja Shrushti. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Sahaja Shrushti Namo Namah. Doer in the land of creativity, Shri Brahmi. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Brahmi Namo Namah. Source of all skills and knowledge, Shri Vidya Kala Stotra. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Vidya Kala Stotra Namo Namah. The essence of all scientific understanding, Shri Vijnana. Shri Vijnana. Vijnana. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Vijnana Namo Namah. The one who exposes all the false gurus, Shri Aguru, not Shri, no Shri, Aguru Chedika. Om Tvameva Sakshat Aguru Chedika Namo Namah. The power of truth governance. Shri Maharadni. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Maharadni Namo Namah. The goddess whose love traverses Africa through the equator, the tropics of Capricorn, Cancer, and beyond. Shri Nirmala Prema Vyapini. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Nirmala Prema Vyapini Namo Namah. The goddess who destroys all negativities with the weapon of Africa. Shri Afrikastra. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Afrikastra Namo Namah. The goddess who wields African assegai to protect her children, Assegai Dhara. Oh, Shri Assegai Dhara. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Assegai Dhara Namo Namah. Great Mother of Africa, Shri Mata. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Mata Namo Namah. The strength of the mothers of Africa, Shri Matru Shakti. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Matru Shakti Namo Namah. Mother Goddess of Africa, Shri Amirini. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Amirini Namo Namah. The power of truth, Goddess whose name is worshipped throughout the tribal folklores of Africa, Shri Dantakata Pujita. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Dantakata Pujita Namo Namah. Wakambi, goddess of music, who transforms a weapon into musical instrument, Shri Marimba. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Marimba Namo Namah. The goddess who created Ghana as the land of the Ghanas, Shri Ghana Ghana Bhumi. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Ghana Ghana Bhumi Namo Namah. Worshipped in Ghana as Nyame Koro 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 Kokoro as Nyame Kokoroko, the goddess, the creator, the supreme being. Nyame Kokoroko. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Nyame Kokoroko Namo Namah. Worshipped in Nigeria as Ayiba, the mother goddess and supreme being. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Ayiba Namo Namah. Worshipped in Nigeria as Woyengi, goddess of the Niger River Valley, Shri Woyengi. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Woyengi Namo Namah. Worshipped by the Zulus as Inkosikasi, the omnipotent goddess of sky and heaven and supreme being, Shri Inkosikasi. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Inkosikasi Namo Namah. Worshipped by Zulus as Unkulunku, the creator of family, tribes, and all life. Unkulunkulu. Shri Unkulunkulu. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Unkulunkulu Namo Namah. Worshipped in South Africa as Shri Ninavanhu Ma, the goddess of creation. Shri Ninavanhu Ma. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Ninavanhu Ma Namo Namah. Worshipped in South Africa as Songi, the creator of life and wealth, Shri Songi. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Songi Namo Namah. Worshipped in North Africa as Kabile, the first woman and the creator, Shri Kabile. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Kabile Namo Namah. Worshipped in West Africa as Tamara, the Supreme Being. Shri Tamara. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Tamara Namo Namah. Worshipped in Kenya and Zimbabwe as Arava, the Supreme Being. Shri Arava. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Arava Namo Namah. Worshipped in Kenya and Zimbabwe as Bomu Rambi, Moon Goddess. Om Shri Bomu Rambi. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Bomu Rambi Namo Namah. Worshipped in Zimbabwe as Mashon Gavudzi, the creator wife, the great spirit, Shri Mashon Gavudzi. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Mashon Gavudzi Namo Namah. Worshipped in Benin and Togo as Mau, the Supreme Being. Shri Mau. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Mau Namo. Worshipped in Tanzania as Amaunit, the mother goddess who created humans. Shri Amaunit. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Amaunit Namo Namah. Worshipped in Madagascar as Shri Adria Mahilala, the creator of life. Om Shri Andrea Mahilala. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Andrea Mahilala Namo Namah. Worshipped in Ethiopia as Mariam, Virgin Mary, goddess of earth and nature. Shri Mariam. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Mariam Namo Namah. Worshipped in Madagascar as Shri Andrea Mahilala, the creator of life. Shri Andrea Mahilala. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Andrea Mahilala Namo Namah. Worshipped in Congo as Nzambi, the Supreme Being, creator of life. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Nzambi Namo Namah. The Holy Spirit, Shri Umoya Oyingveli. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Umoya Oyingveli Namo Namah. The divine river that flows from within to the sacred sea of the Sahasrara. Shri Nirmala Tarangini. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Nirmala Tarangini Namo Namah. The source of the Nile, the Congo, the Niger and the Zambia rivers. Shri Nadishwari. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Nadishwari Namo Namah. The great ocean of love that laps, the great oceans of love that lap the African shores. Shri Dwipa. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Dwipa Namo Namah. The wave of joy that encompasses us during meditation. Shri Chaitanya Lahari. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Chaitanya Lahari Namo Namah. Goddess who created the abundant flora, forest, and jungles that enrich the land. Shri Vana Shri. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Vana Shri Namo Namah. The fragrance that fills the air of the valley and plains. Shri Gandhali. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Gandhali Namo Namah. The breeze that cools the heat of the jungle and the desert. Shri Salila Sarayu. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Salila Sarayu Namo Namah. The goddess who created all the birds and creatures to bring beauty and harmony. Shri Vanachara Shri. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Vanachara Shri Namo Namah. The goddess who created all majesty of nature to express the elements in supreme abundance. Shri Ruthambara Prajna. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Rutambara Prajna Namo Namah. The bestower of great gifts and natural wealth on every kind of African continent, of every kind on the African continent, for the joy of its indigenous peoples. Shri Nisarga Shri. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Nisarga Shri Namo Namah. The goddess who came in the form of mother as the only way to save mankind. Shri Tarakeshwari. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Tarakeshwari Namo Namah. Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah. Let's say the Sahasrara mantras. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati Mahakali Trigunatmika Kundalini Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Sahasrara Swamini Moksha Pradaini Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo. Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah. Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah. Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah. So thank you, everybody. Jai Shri Mataji. Hope you have a wonderful rest of the evening. Thank you all for joining us. Jai Shri Mataji.